Welcome to Reed's Top 10s, Ashton Kutcher's Questionable Choices. So welcome one and all. Today's going to be a little bit different, but I will be sticking to the 10 list. However, my own opinion will be very much part of this. You may be asking, what have I got against Ashton Kutcher? And the answer really is nothing. But I have been watching him for many years, and he has made some very questionable choices. Some of you may be watching what's going on in the news just now. In the UK, you might be less aware of this, but that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to inform you. Made this perfect all the way up here, my ivory tower. Yes, me. Anyway, let's be clear. I don't hate this guy, and he isn't that bad a comedic actor, but he has made some incredibly bad choices, with some recent choices being above and beyond even criminal. You'll see what I mean when I get to the end of this, okay? But thank you for joining me, and let's get on with it. In at number 10, we have Underage Involvement. Ashton Kutcher was born on the 7th of February 1978 in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That means he's 45 years old currently, and his now partner, or his now wife, Mila Kunis, she was born on the 14th of August 1983, making her currently 40 years old. Yeah, she's Ukrainian, from Chernivtsi. The problem is this. At the time when they first started working together on that 70s show, she was 14 and he was 20. So now they're married. Does that take away from what actually happened? Does it change how the relationship started? No, not at all. Not at all. But it's all just swept under the carpet because now it's been praised and worshipped, and everybody thinks it's a wonderful thing. Keep in mind, there were many professionals there at the beginning involved in the situation, from his studio, from his legal team, to her parents, to her chaperones. The whole of Hollywood knew about this. Look, that's a 14-year-old girl. That's a 14-year-old girl and a grown man. This was permitted in TV and even encouraged. Now, this behaviour, though, has perforated its way through his career and even before his career, and I'm going to show you. In at number 9, we have felony burglary. Now, to clarify, I am not judging a young kid breaking into his high school, because that's what he's done. He went to retrieve answers for a test. I am guilty of crap like that, and I'm sure all of you are. This is not what it's about, okay? This is to show that no matter what Ashton Kutcher has done in his past, he has, to an extent, been encouraged and at certain points coerced into doing things. So he feels from when he was a young child, look here, his sentence was 3 years of probation and 180 hours of community service, okay? The experience clearly stayed with him, as he later mentioned his brush with the law in 2017 while collecting the Robert D. Ray Pillar of Character Award at Drake University. Do you follow me? He's confident enough to mention a felony burglary, and everybody applauds him and congratulates him. This has been the ongoing story with him since the beginning. In at number 8, we have blabber. Mr. Kutcher has a tendency to engage in hasty online commentary during very controversial events, often expressing his opinions without a complete grasp of the facts. So to this end, in 2014, he came to the defense of Uber executive Emil Michael, who had stirred up outrage by publicly acknowledging the hiring of researchers to sift through customer data. God, publicly. At least keep it hidden if you're going to be a complete and utter. Anyway, Ashton, in a regrettable move, took to Twitter to inquire about what was so objectionable about this. Right. Well, my friend, the concerns are quite clear. People are and were worried about privacy violations, as well as the breach of Uber's own terms and conditions, which stipulate the respect of client confidentiality. Now, Ashton, who also happens to be an Uber investor, he did apologise. It was, though, somewhat lackluster, and it failed to demonstrate a full understanding of the implications of his initial comments to the world. In at number 7, we have Die Harder. Now, Bruce and Demi Moore, they were married for many years, but they got divorced in 2000. They continue to co-parent their 3 daughters, and they maintain a very good close friendship. In fact, he's now in the latter stages of his life. Sadly, he looks like he's not got a long time left on this earth with us. But Demi Moore has basically moved in with him and his new partner and the kids, and they're all trying to make him as happy as his life can be for the rest. So respect to them all for that. But what happened was that Bruce initially had reservations. It took some time for him to come to terms with the fact that this man had become the stepfather to his 3 daughters. Now, if we move forward to 2011, and Bruce had further cause to have some resentment, because according to sources, both Bruce and his daughters attributed Demi's struggles to Ashton. Basically, they believed that his indulgent partying lifestyle played a significant part in Demi Moore's return to a perilous pattern of drinking, drug use, and poor eating habits. Now, he can't be blamed for this, right? And I'm not expecting anybody to put this on the bonfire with him, but it is significant. In at number 6, we have gender equality. Now, Ashton has faced his fair share of controversy. It's undeniable. Look at this. But this became really evident in 2017 when he raised some eyebrows by posting a series of questions on his LinkedIn. Now, these posts were concerning women in the workplace, and rather than using this opportunity to pose thought-provoking questions, can you guess what Ashton's aim was, what he was trying to find out? Or, well, let's just say it was contentious territory. He was inquiring about workplace dating and flirting protocols. Why? He's never going to grow up, this boy. Anyway, this leaves us to ponder whether Ashton's actions reveal him to be a chauvinistic individual, or if they were simply the result of poorly chosen words and an uproar on the internet. No. 2017, these weren't the dark ages. He has a team around him who should be telling him how to behave, even if he doesn't have the mental capacity to understand right and wrong. He is not being guided in any way, shape, or form to be morally correct or just. And at number 5, we have pop chips. Now, Ashton Kutcher found himself embroiled in controversy after his advert in 2012. You can see behind me, he's in brownface, he's pretending he's Raj, a Bollywood director. Now, that doesn't bother me, even if he was brown or what. I don't care about that. I'm thick-skinned, literally and figuratively. What bothers me is the fact that in 2012, this was not a good move. And again, nobody around him thought to say to him that this was a bad idea and it was going to come back and bite you on the bottom. Okay? So again, I'm going back to the fact that he is left at large to do what he likes without anybody actually saying to him, no, that's bad. In at number 4, we have infidelity. Now, I'm not judging, I'm not trying to shame, I'm not trying to do anything, because I have been guilty of this numerous times in my 20s and 30s. Okay? Numerous times. The difference is this. At a certain point in your life, after you've been through numerous relationships, you would expect a man with an entourage around them, copious amounts of money, and a lot of consiglieri, a lot of people who are there specifically to counsel him, that he wouldn't continually F up in the way he's been doing so when it comes to relationships and his faithfulness. So I'm not going to say much more on this, other than here are a few beautiful girls that he has perhaps not been as honest with as he should have. In at number 3, we have 2.5 Men. Now, The only reason this is on here is because I want it to be on here. I am thoroughly peed off with the fact that Charlie Sheen no longer is on that show. I used to love it. I'm also actually doing this to give you a little bit of respite, because the next two that come in, the next two are going to be very dark. This whole thing has been dark, but trust me, this isn't good in any way, shape, or form, and it's only going to finish bad. In at number 2, we have sex crime. Now, Danny Masterton, from that 70s show, red hair, sunglasses, thought he was cool, always looked like that guy. He last week was convicted of 2 rapes, and one was a former girlfriend. Now, good, he's gone, he's off the street. End of story, good. Hopefully he'll never see the light of day. My problem is with Ashton. He has been sending letters to the judge asking for leniency for the poor rapist. And that he is such a good guy. He's done everything for me in the past, and he's really taken care of me. He helped me get into Hollywood, blah, blah, F and blah. The guy's a rapist, and this guy was taking his side. Now, on its own, it would have been bad, but with everything else that's on this list, put it together, and then tell me in the comments what you think of Ashton Kutcher after this, okay? Wait for number 1. And at number 1, we have blood in his hands. Now, Ashton Kutcher had a date in 2001 with a lady called Ashley Ellerin, a young girl, a fashion design student. So he's gone to her house, I think it was about 8 o'clock in the evening, opened the door, it was ajar. He's gone into the kitchen, and what does he see? He sees a dead body in the ground. His girlfriend, who he was going out on a date with, has been stabbed 47 times. Does he call the police? Does he call his family? No. He calls his solicitors and his entourage, who tell him, get out of the house, kick the can down the road and let someone else find the body, which is exactly what he does. Now, this killer, Gargulio, goes on to kill someone else. Now, keep in mind, if the police had the evidence from that first 24 hours, there's a very good chance that he would have been caught. Ashton Kutcher is responsible. I don't care whether you agree with me or you disagree with me. He is guilty of partly causing anybody who was murdered or assaulted after that date there. And so we've arrived at the end of another episode. If you could like, share and subscribe, I'd be very grateful. Also, chuck in the comments whether you liked it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, anything. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye-bye.